Hey, it's Chris with Simply Japanese Maples, and I'm outside. I'm under the shade house of one of our greenhouses here, and it's because it's summer out and it's warm, okay? So something people are wondering is, summertime comes along, can I still plant my Japanese maple in the ground? The short answer is yes, but there's some nuances to that, so let's talk about that today. Basically, three things I would think of as the most important variables in this question of can you plant your Japanese maple in summer. The number one is going to be knowing your own area. So if you live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, or you live in Kelowna, BC, those are two vastly different growing locations. And so understanding what kind of climate you live in, if you live in what you call a hot climate or cold climate, whatever, right? Understanding that is probably a big one. The second thing is mulching that tree. So you're gonna want 2 to 3 inches of mulch on the tree, wood mulch, ideally not cedar. So something other than that. The best would be a wood mulch that's say about 1/2 inch or so to 1 inch size pieces, different sizes, and that allows water to drain through. It allows some sort of aeration happening there. Because if the pieces are all the same, they just kind of lock together and it kind of creates a seal, which you don't want to seal. So you do want airflow and water flow and all these things. So mulch. So you know your location, know your mulch or have your mulch, and watering. If you plant, this kind of ties in a little bit with your location. If you plant your tree in the middle of your lawn, there's no shade, there's no other plants that provide shade for the root ball of the tree. And you've got full sun all day, all evening. So this is a situation where you probably have one of the hotter locations, even if you are in Halifax, versus somebody who's planting their tree in an existing garden bed and maybe there's already tall grasses or irises or something like that that provides shade for your trees, your tree root ball. Because in that situation, you've got the tree is retaining more moisture because it's shaded, the root ball is shaded, and it's not heating up. The roots aren't heating up, again, because the roots are shaded. So that is almost like a little microclimate. So even if you had a very hot yard and you had this tree in this location where the other plants around it were shading the root ball, it kind of creates a bit of a microclimate for that tree. So those are three big ones, guys. Basically knowing where you are. Do I live in a hot climate or a cold climate? Mulching your tree and watering your tree. Watering your tree might be every single day if it's in a hot location. It might be every 2 to 3 days. You know, and it's going to depend too on how your weather is. So if you're in a period of heat for a number of days or weeks without rain, that's something you need to be on top of. And the reality is, no matter what, you're going to be babying your tree in that first summer, the first couple of years, but the first summer in particular, you're going to be babying that tree and making sure it gets all the moisture it needs, making sure it's mulched so the roots are protected as they try to grow into the ground, and making sure that your tree, which is kind of like a little investment, right? So making sure that's going to be strong and healthy in the coming years. And within a few years, your tree is going to be fairly drought tolerant, and you won't have to worry about so much about the babying. But in the meantime, like all young creatures, it needs help of the bigger creatures ourselves, right? So take care of your trees, take care of yourself, wear a big sun hat, and if you have any questions on this kind of stuff, don't hesitate to reach out. Simply JapaneseMaples.ca is where you can find us and our trees, and we'll talk to you next time.